Here we are. It's the beginning of October, and writers, you know what that means. 31 days until NaNoWriMo. Now, how does one prepare for NaNoWriMo? Well, that really depends on what kind of writer you are. Are you a pantser or a planner? Now, pantser is derived from the term fly by the seat of your pants, and this writer knows next to nothing about his story as he goes into it. He writes and lets the story flow. Like the character and the reader, he has no idea what's going on. This method can be incredibly fun, but it can also be incredibly frustrating because you don't know where you're going, so you don't know what to write. This method also takes a lot of revisions afterwards. Now, the planner has a pre-planned idea going in. Perhaps an extensive outline and perhaps just a skeletal outline, but they know basically what they need to write about. It has been my experience that going into a novel with a plan makes the process quicker, easier, and more beneficial for the writer. When I pre-plan, I have less encounters with writer's block as I write my novel, and I spend less time writing huge chunks of superfluous text just to reach my daily word count that I know I will wind up deleting anyway. Reason dictates the more in-depth you're pre-planning, the easier your story will be to write. The purpose of plotting is not to suck the fun out of writing. I know, writing is spontaneous. You come up with ideas on the fly and it can be incredibly satisfying. But the idea of plotting is to become familiar with your story, with your characters, and know what they are going to want and what they will need to flourish before you ever start with chapter 1. This PlotNoWriMo video series is going to focus mostly on brainstorming. What we're going to concentrate on are the big picture things. The things that the writer is going to have to know hundreds of pages before it is ever revealed to the reader. We're going to be plotting out the things that the writer needs to know from page 1, even though the reader has no idea what's going on. We are outlining the necessities of the story in order to make the writing easier. We're talking major story arcs, intersecting storylines, and understanding character goals and conflicts. If you're just walking into a novel not quite sure what's going on, your characters have no idea what's going on either, and they don't know all the time how to react. So knowing exactly what your character is aiming for from page 1 makes the process so comparatively simple. This video series is going to work under the assumption that you have done no or little to no planning as yet. So, this is going to be a 5-week program. The first week is the idea, in which you're going to write down your idea for your novel. Week 2 is brainstorming, in which we take that idea and figure out how it's going to work in reality. Week 3, major points. By now, you're going to know a lot of the things that have to happen and approximately at what point they're going to have to happen, and so we're going to map out the major plot points. Week 4, organizing. This is taking all of your notes, all of your half-formed ideas and character profiles, and start putting them into a semblance of order. We're going to build a world-building Bible so that all of this information is going to be at your fingertips, so that you can easily access it and more easily understand how everything is interconnected. Week 5, fine-tune. This is making sure that all of your major plot points connect believably and realistically. At the end of 5 weeks, you should have a skeleton outline. This is not going to be a complete outline. It's not going to be a moment-by-moment outline. This is just going to be a basis from which to start your story with some understanding of where it's going and what's happening. This way, you will hopefully eliminate a lot of unnecessary word counts. You will skirt many encounters with the cursed writer's block. And hopefully, NaNoWriMo will be a much better success than it was last year. Alright guys, I will see you for video number 1. The idea.